We have a, thank you, recording in progress. We'll hand over to EJ to read through the protocols before we start. Go ahead, EJ.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To begin, I ask everyone to ensure their phone is on silent. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the town of YouTube. For those in the room, it's important that you remain quiet unless participating in the discussion, and if you're participating in the discussion, speak audibly into your microphone. For those on Zoom, it is important that you keep your camera off and microphone muted unless participating in the discussion. If you are participating in the discussion, please unmute yourself and turn on your camera. If you are a resident who would like to make a comment, please use the raise hand feature. Speakers both in person and over Zoom, please state your name and the street that you live on for record keeping purposes before you make your comments. This meeting is interrupted for any reason. I will immediately end the Zoom and send a new link via email. And actually back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, EJ. So we should start with consideration of the agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to add something to the agenda. Is this the appropriate time?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to add on the, if you take a look at the agenda on our tablets, 8.1 and 8.2. 8.1 is the additional public tree removals, and 8.2 is private tree removals. So I'd like to make a motion to add these to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second,
Is that your job?
Second, thank you. It is my job.
Okay, sir.
except we're not supposed to be adding time, but.
We can add agenda items, but adding time. Very good. Okay, so those items are added to the agenda. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, we try to get all the documents out to council 1 week in advance, but when there are tree removals, we want to try to accommodate that because there are good safety reasons for getting council decisions on those, and we do that as a consent agenda. So the first item is public comment period. Do we have anyone online who wishes to provide any public comments? Okay, anyone in the room, public comment period? Going, gone. All right, thank you very much. We move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the items on the consent agenda?
Moved.
Moved, seconded. Any discussion? None needed. Consent items. All right, thank you very much. So that means that we have adopted the 3 items listed on the piece of paper, but also 8.1 and 8.2 of the tree removal. Thank you. So moving on now to agenda item 4, which is a public hearing to consider variance application submitted by Vicky Blueston for the property located at 4821 Cumberland to construct a new driveway. Steve, I don't know if you.
Good evening. So the homeowner would like to replace the existing impervious driveway with an impervious driveway. Essentially the same size. It would actually be a little bit narrower because she'd be removing some of the edges. I find that the slope of the driveway is such that the impervious driveway, impervious pavers could be installed, and that is required by the town's code. Instead of that approach, the homeowner proposes to use the conservation landscaping and like the infiltration trench along the side of the driveway to prevent the water from going into the street. And so that's it in a nutshell. This is a topic that the council has been discussing this entire time.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. Would the homeowner like to make?
Well, just, I mean, I think I put everything in my application, but I do take environmental responsibility very seriously. But I also want to put in something that will last. I want this to be a one-time job and, you know, last for several days. It's hopefully I last for several days. But I just think it's not worth the money to put in something that's that I think this mitigates this achieves the same issue that you all want to achieve, just having to go into the water point in my garden. I already have 5 pop-ups that were put into my yard last year when I redid my sidewalk, so I have pop-ups for the gutters. This may have one more pop-up, but I really think it's gonna direct the water into my yard rather than into the street. And, I would also request if you approve it, that you waive the fee or reduce it, because it's kind of $8,000 it's worth. Some sort of fee, but I really am trying to do everything I can to put in something that's stable and also meets the water management goals that the town has.
Thank you. So, shall we open it up for discussion, or is there already a motion to,
I mean, I don't know, I would make a motion.
all right, go ahead, you want to make a motion?
Sure. I would make a motion to approve the variance application submitted by Vicky Bloomston for the property located at 4821 Cumberland to construct a new driveway and to waive the variance fee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, let's have a discussion. So open up the discussion. Any discussion on the motion to grant a variance and to grant a waiver on the variance fee? So a full waiver is what's requested. You're proposing a full waiver?
Yeah.
The entire amount? Any discussion?
Well, I'll just say that we have at the same meeting, we're introducing an amendment to remove the permeable requirement.
We can't hear you, Robin. You need to talk
Yeah.
into.
I'm sure people on
All right, we are at the same meeting introducing an amendment to our code to remove the permeable requirement for driveways. And in light of that, I see it highly appropriate that we also waive the fee in this case.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
No.
Mr. President, Linda, Shannon, original proposer of the motion, nothing further. Okay, shall we? Kabir,
Nothing from me. Thank you.
right, shall we, all those in favor of granting the variance and the waiver of the fee, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Kabir, aye, is that an aye? Yes.
Aye.
Right, very good. All,
Thank you.
all those in favor. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Moving on to the next agenda item. And that is introduction of an ordinance to add a new chapter 5 ethics. This was the ordinance that we discussed at the work session with I think with the revision and that was discussed last time, which was to ensure that the Ethics Commission itself would also be required to submit financial disclosure statements, or at least make those available. So otherwise, it's I think we've discussed all these already. So is there a motion to introduce this ordinance?
I'd be happy to make a motion to introduce an ordinance to add a new chapter 5 ethics to our code.
Very good. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, any discussion?
The only discussion is to do with the financial disclosure form that's mentioned. I just request that when that is produced, that it be submitted to the council for review and approval of the form.
Very good.
That's reasonable.
All right, so that's not an amendment, it's just an understanding that we reached here, so no further amendments, so that is. Shall we take a vote then? All those in favor of introducing the ordinance, please say aye.
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 So that is voted in favor, everyone was in favor, so that is done. Moving on to, I think the last agenda item was the introduction of an ordinance to amend the building code. Again, we discussed all of this at the work session. We went through, I think, a large number of the revisions at the work session. There were a few that we didn't get to, so those are not reflected in this version. We will discuss those at a future work session. But in the meantime, as we discussed, we've gone ahead and made the revisions that reflect all the items that were in the document that you had before. There's all been incorporated in by and has been, drafted by Ron together with BJ and others here. So, is there a motion to introduce the ordinance to amend building regulations?
I'd be happy to do that.
Is there a second?
Second?
There's a second. Any discussion?
I had a question.
Yes.
So I was confused when it said.
Tell us which page you're looking at so we can follow along with you.
Yeah, once I find it. Oh, just in the very, very beginning on page 2 at the bottom at 112-3. And circumstances requiring building permits exception. No building, air conditioner, increase in impervious surface, compromising it, or no, that's struck.
That's struck.
Newer replacement driveway, heater pump generator. All need a building permit.
That's correct.
So
in
what
line.
is the difference I don't recall like the 150 square feet or more, like that delineation. I don't remember, like, we've always talked about like 150 square feet or more triggers our stormwater management.
Mhm.
So if we take that out, then doesn't that mean that any increase?
No, what the document says in its entirety, and Steve, Ron, and
Yes.
Jay, please correct me. What the document says in entirety is that you need a permit, but the requirements for your stormwater are differentiated by size.
Okay,
You still need the permit.
got it. Okay, and
Because
so,
the understanding is that in the absence of that application, the town council and the town manager, the mayor don't know. The
right,
only way you know is an application, and then you can say, well, from this point on, you've got a differentiated application.
Okay.
So, yeah.
okay, all right, that makes more sense. I was just confused by that.
And the 150 square feet, we've also discussed just replacing that with language that says any increase. And so instead of having a 150 trigger, it's any increase. But then Steve's come up with a 3-tiered approach based on how much impervious surface you are creating. If it's de minimis, you don't need much planning. That's something that Steve and the applicant can review administratively. And then the bigger the project gets, the more detailed engineering has to be done. And
Okay, very good. Any other questions, comments? Discussions? Yeah.
As you know, I submitted earlier to you total of 23 comments on the document.
You talking to the microphone?
Yes,
Sorry.
I submitted a total of 23 comments on the document, and certainly you can use them as appropriate. But there were a couple that I do want to bring up here.
Yes. So are you proposing amendments?
In a couple of places, yes.
All right, so why don't you propose specific amendments?
All right.
Can you tell us where so we can follow along?
I need to go up to the top to see where I start. Yes.
And if they're of a drafting nature, obviously Ron, EJ and I can take care of that. But if there are amendments of substance, then let's
Right.
focus on those, yeah.
Okay, well, this is probably drafting well, you bring it up. We do need to define the set of permit applications for which town council approval is required and set that up in advance. We do not do it in this document. And so it's ambiguous at the moment whether additions to homes are going to go to council for review or be just handled by the mayor. And so we need that defined in the document.
It is defined.
Well, tell me what it is, because.
Can you show us what you're talking about?
yeah, so I can answer that, Mr. Mayor, if that would help.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the current approach is, as the mayor noted, require a permit for most anything so that the town can verify whether what the requirements are and whether they're being complied with, and then to allow administrative approval for certain small construction projects if, after notice to adjoining and confronting neighbors, there's no objection. And so the list, the limited list of things that could be reviewed administratively are on page 10, subparagraph C, in the middle of the page there. And so the administrative approvals would be for air conditioning units, heat pumps, fences or walls, accessory buildings comprising 100 square feet or less, although now we're proposing 150 there. A screening or enclosing of an existing porch, driveway or curb cut, impervious surface coverage of 150 square feet or more, or certain unenclosed projections to your house, like a porch, balcony, window well, and the like. So if it's not in that list, then a full council hearing is needed.
Which is what we discussed at the work session, it was in that table that was presented, and that table was used, and the only change that was made were a couple of things. There was, I think, swimming pool, for example, was taken out of that list, which is why you don't see it here. And then there was this question of the size of the accessory building. I think there was a concern that if it was too big, and it was sort of visible. So this is at a shed size, which is I think the words that we used last time, and that's what we've come up with. So that should address that particular point.
Well, it does and it doesn't. Yes, it does, but I would honestly think this code requires is setting up the positive side of it. That is, that council will review and approve this set, which is set of new construction, additions to homes, and anything other than is specified in that section. Because
Do you have an amendment?
that's the amendment.
What is the amendment? Because we'll need to vote on the amendment.
Okay, that's the amendment, and
No, but you have to give us language, so that somebody has to second it, and then we have to vote on it. That's how we
okay,
do that.
So it would be an affirmative sentence. Other than these enumerated items, the town council shall review
Yes,
the
that-
building permit application.
that's it exactly.
Are you proposing that in the same subparagraph C as
It-
like a
it-
follow-up
It
sentence?
can go in the same subparagraph C, yes.
Okay.
Is everybody following? Because I want to make sure that we haven't lost anyone. So, Mr. Town Attorney, will you just
Yes.
read to us where a change is being proposed, and then we will vote on that.
Yes, sir. So the amendment would be to add a sentence to the end of that subparagraph C on page 10, which is under subparagraph E1C. Other than the foregoing list of items, the town council shall review a building permit application in accordance with the provisions herein. Something to that effect. I'll have to,
Obviously, it repeats what's said at the beginning of that paragraph, but if that's what's necessary, it's fine.
I'm confused where we are now. So wait, the building permit application is for approval, that C section?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the new word being that goes in there?
it would just be a follow-up sentence, a sentence to the end of that paragraph to confirm, other than the list of these items, anything else is going to be reviewed at a full council hearing. So that is how the code works elsewhere, but this would just clarify it for someone reading this sentence, this subparagraph.
Yeah, it's just a clarifying sentence. It has no substantive impact other than just clarifying that.
It just
Right.
means that whole section can be administratively approved, it doesn't have to go to the council meeting.
Right. How to work is an application will be submitted, and if it falls into one of those categories, EJ sends notice to the adjoining and confronting neighbors saying, we've got this permit application. It's going to be approved administratively without a hearing unless you object within 15 days.
Does
But
it
then
not say
has
that?
to follow, like the driveway or the curb cut obviously has to follow what's in our town code.
Yes. Yeah. EJ and the mayor will independently verify that those applications comply.
I mean, just
And-
to be clear, it is simply repeating what is stated on page 9, in capital E over there, because it says that right there, right? Project type set forth below, provided however, that in the case of an application submitted, et cetera, shall be reviewed by the town council. But it's fine. I think the clarification sentence is not a bad thing to have. It's just a few extra words that we did. So, can you just read that out one more time? Mr.
Yes,
Town Attorney? And
yes.
so we'll-
Other than the foregoing list of items, the town council will review a building permit application according to the provisions of this chapter. Other than an application for, no, well, yeah, I'll have to work with it a little bit.
I think you've made the intent clear, however.
Yes, other than an application for one of the foregoing list, no, one of the items in the foregoing list, the town council will review a building permit application in accordance with the provisions of this chapter.
All right, so
Is that your motion?
that's the motion,
Okay,
yes.
is there a second? So the second is, so just, yeah, is there a second to that motion as Ron read it out?
I'll second.
There any discussion?
I just want to say that I don't know why. I think this is pretty clear. As is, so I don't know why we're really doing this. Robin, I understand how you're reading it and all in good faith, but I just don't think it's something we need.
Okay, I will say, I read it twice. I still was confused after reading it twice as to exactly what the council was reviewing. So if you'll trust that I can read, then that suggests it was not clear enough at that point.
Trust you, Robin.
All right, very good. So I think we can bring this to a vote. All those in favor of this amendment as read by Ron, just for the record, which is essentially a clarification sentence. All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
All those not in favor? It's 4-1. All right, but it's passed. Very good. Next,
All right, there are minor ones.
yes, please go ahead.
Which same area for Town Street and but I can't see it's E.
Can you just give the page number? It's easiest to go with pages.
Yeah, it's page 6, bottom of page 6.
Thank you.
And it's parking, and C is parking more than 3 vehicles in the same area of Town Street, not area block of Town Street. Area is too vague. Just make it block, that defines it.
Sorry.
Where are you?
2, it's under,
Oh,
it's page 6.
Page 7.
But,
Yeah.
well,
If the
page
printout
7,
is
sorry,
seven.
page 7, bottom of page 7. sorry,
Okay,
yes.
sorry.
Bottom of page 7, required compliance with a parking plan which may provide that, among other things, parking shall be located on the property which is the subject of the town building permit. If additional parking is needed, parking shall be located on more than one street in the immediate area of the property which is the subject of the town building permit. And C, parking more than 3 vehicles in the same area of a town street shall not be permitted. So you wish to change area to
Block.
block. So in throughout that paragraph, or only because the word area is in 2 places then. If additional parking is needed, parking shall be located on more than one street in the immediate area of the property, which is the subject of the town building
Yeah,
permit.
that's a
And-
different sense of area. which
Yeah, I
is
know.
unfortunate.
I wish that was in clarification.
Immediate property lot, I think would probably be better there. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but-
that is a different use of area, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To make that the second one block just makes sense.
Okay,
What are we changing?
In C,
C?
to
what's it?
C, parking more than 3 vehicles in the same block of a town street shall not be permitted.
Okay. Is that the only change in that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just take a moment? Steve? Okay, you're the one who has to administer it. Block area, any?
I think block is easier to administer.
I can administer it.
So I have a question. Can I ask a question? Just,
bless you.
I get it.
Sorry, let me just go through the process here.
Okay,
There's a
sorry.
motion to propose the replacement of the word area with block in 2C. Is there a second? There is no second.
All
so
right,
the
all
amendment's
right, all
defeated.
right. Steve can do it.
Yeah, moving on, you have other amendments?
Yeah,
Yes.
and we did discuss this in a work session. You're using calendar days in action on permit 1128.
So to give you the page number. it's always the easiest that way.
It is page 8.
8, or this is regarding action on permit, number of days. Yes, we discussed it at great length. This is the Public Safety Committee's recommendation. And it's proposed here pretty much the way the committee recommended and we discussed it. So
Right.
you're proposing to change what was discussed
Yeah,
last time.
work days is easier. I actually mentioned it later in my comments too. When you go through 33 calendar days, just think of, for example, Christmas holiday, New Year's holiday, and Martin Luther King Day. They're all within 33 days of each other. That means the office is closed for 3 of those 33 days. Do we give them extra time because of that? Or do we make it work days, which makes it absolutely clear what the
Sorry,
days
so
are?
again, just can you provide the text of the amendment you're proposing?
All right, it'd be 25 work days, so it's to be filed with the town manager no later than 25 work days. Prior to that session, were work days defined as when the town works open. The town call its discretion may defer or continue consideration of the application until any try to at least 20 work days prior to the scheduled session of the manager in your hearing.
All right, so I'm gonna
I had a clarifying question.
So let me just follow a process here. That was your motion.
Yes.
Did everybody understand it?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a second?
Second,
There's a second. Let's have a discussion. So
Yeah,
you had a question. Yes, go ahead.
yes, Robin, we are introducing, right? This right now, we're not adopting these changes. Is that right?
That's correct.
So potentially we could make these amendments at the time of adopting, and it might be worth doing a little bit of homework with the town manager, because I'm struggling with some of the details here. And we
If
could
you have
make the
questions of the
amendments.
town manager, now's a good time to do it. I mean, the town manager has been involved in the drafting here, so the homework.
Okay.
So the best is if you have questions, there, Steve and EJ and
More
Anyone
for Robin, because it felt sort of certain details that we could potentially tackle at the time of adopting. That's all I wanted to clarify. We don't need to resolve it right now.
Can I say something?
we're in discussion. So yeah, Debbie, your turn.
I guess why I object to this, in all due respect, Robin, is that we have talked about this days business, how many days? It came a strong recommendation from the committee, and 33 days, whether they're holidays or not. The idea was to give residents a full calendar, to give them, this month, basically in a few days to consider. And I think as a resident, I could consider things on a holiday. And I think changing it is inappropriate, actually.
Mr. Mayor, may I make one comment that
Yeah.
might address Councilmember Barr's concerns?
Yes, please go.
The code does provide in the rules of interpretation, section 116, the time within which an act is to be done shall be computed by excluding the first day and including the last day. And if the last day is Sunday or a legal holiday, that day shall be excluded. So it may or may not help, but if the 33rd
It helps a
day,
bit, But when you've got 3 holidays in the same period, as you do there, and 2 holidays in the same period, when you get to June, July, Juneteenth, and July 4th, then it becomes an issue. And as I said, it may not be an issue for residents, although around summertime, the residents aren't in, so it could well be an issue for residents. But it is an issue for the builders, and that's somebody else we need to think about.
Any further discussion?
I should say 25 work days is more than a month.
Any further discussion?
I mean, I think that we should keep it consistent, like with, if we're work days or not work days. I mean, I think 33 days does encompass holiday days too. It gives you like a buffer of 3 days or potential 2 days, I guess, max on either side, which to me makes sense. Because the whole point, like you were saying, is more than a month.
Any further? So let us now put this amendment to a vote. All those in favor of changing the text replacing 33 days with 25 working days, and replacing later on at least 30 days with 20 working days. All those in favor, please say aye. The motion to amend is defeated. Moving on to other amendments.
All right, yeah, so this is on air conditioners. I
Yes.
thought honestly.
Page number, please.
It is sixth page and. It's top of page 10. It's been replaced at the same location with the unit of the same or small. The mayor may process the application immediately and shall not be required. I thought we decided that we were not going to require a permit for replacing an air conditioner with the same size in the same place. And my analogy here is what's the difference between replacing a broken air conditioner and replacing a broken gutter?
Yes, I'll let others answer if my answer is incomplete, before we make the motion to amend, just to explain. I think, you know, where we discussed with the town staff and the town attorney is that, going back to something we discussed, talked about a little bit earlier, is that the only way you know whether it is the same size and same location is if there's an application. So in the absence of an application, you just simply don't know this information. So somebody has to inform town hall, I am proposing to put an air conditioner in the same location, same size. And then it's, if that's the case, then the whole thing is streamlined, and there's no 15-day requirement, et cetera, and it can be approved. But otherwise, it's completely on, you might say, an honor system. People don't have to tell you, and it may or may not be the case. So to avoid confusion or misunderstandings, we agreed that there has to be at least an application that confirms same size, same location, then it's not an issue. That's basically how it's being crafted. And it definitely, the question of an air conditioner is quite different from the gutter. If you change a gutter, it doesn't affect your neighbor, whereas if you change the location or the size of your air conditioner, it does. And the only way you would know that it's not the case is if it's an application. So do you wish to continue with the motion to amend?
I'll leave it there, that if you discussed it.
Okay, thank you. Any other amendments?
Yeah. This is, I guess, the top of page 13.
Yes.
Why did you choose this building existing prior to January 9th, 2020?
It's hard to understand you, Brahman. You gotta.
Sorry, why did you choose that date, January 9th, 2024? In other words, new homes can catch fire too. And are we not giving new homes the same?
I'll let Ron answer the question. Just as a reminder, I think this has been the norm in council meetings. Any text that's not in bold and underlined is text that has existed in the past. So the question as to why it happened is a very reasonable question, but it's also a question that could have been asked anytime since this code was adopted.
Okay, well.
So this is not a revision that's come forward here. So I think it's fine as a general question, but it's a bit, as I said, the purpose of this meeting was to focus on the amendments that we discussed last time, and that's all in bold, underlined, or struck out. But I think it's important to have the answer to the question. Anyway, go on, please.
Yeah, so that code provision's not being edited now. It was adopted with an effective date of January 9, 2024. And so at that time, when that provision was enacted, the council decided to grandfather only buildings that existed as of the effective date of that provision. It could certainly be changed. But yeah, there was a decision at that time to just grandfather pre-existing buildings. So if a house burns down and the house had been built before that January 2024 date, you could replace it in its pre-existing non-conforming location. Let's say it violated setbacks. But if the house was built after that date and were to be replaced as a result of burning down or what have you, then it does have to be rebuilt in conformance with new regulations. There's a general concept in zoning law that nonconformities are meant to go away with time so that the new public policy is achieved. Sometimes you'll have grandfathering provisions that, in order to address hardship, allow certain nonconformities to remain, but overall, they're supposed to go away with time.
I guess it's a judgment call.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We don't need to do it today.
Okay,
We can do it.
yeah, these things are always open for further discussion. Okay, no amendments at this time for this. All right, next, any other?
Yeah, elsewhere, do we have a definition of impervious surface that we're using?
Yes, it is. It is in the definitions, as I recall.
That said, I presume the term impervious
Why does it
surface
keep moving on
predates
me?
these
Look at
amendments
this.
anyway. So the question is, if there was no definition before, I'm sure there was a very good reason why this council,
So it is currently defined, Mr. Mayor,
yes,
as a surface which prevents or impedes infiltration, including but not limited to building structures and concrete or asphalt sidewalks, walkways, stoops, stairways, patios, swimming pools, driveways, and parking pads, and other similar surfaces, but excluding surfaces designated as permeable by resolution adopted by the town council from time to time. That's in section 112-2, and it's not proposed to be edited, so it
That's fine.
doesn't appear.
okay, very good. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Ron. All right, Robin, next. New list.
Sorry.
I could include it in the draft to make it clear. That's not changing.
Just a comment on the changeover. It is Steve's three-tier thing, which is on page 13,
Yes,
and it's number 1.
yes,
My concern is what we're trying to avoid here is that the residents don't need to hire like a civil engineer in order to prepare the permit. We're trying to make it simple for them. I presume that's what it's about.
yes.
So
Correct.
let's try to make it as simple as possible. One of the suggestions is just provide a link to the Department of Permit Service guidelines for controlled water runoff so that they have it available to them through the code. Right there.
Adding a link. Okay, that seems to be, we don't need to, I don't think we need an amendment for that. I think that's.
Yeah, we could ask the code publisher to do that in the editorial notes underneath that section. What section was that?
112.14.5 stormwater drainage, A1,
Page 13.
page 13, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, so we'll add a link. Very good. Yeah, we don't need the amendment, that's a clarification. Okay,
All right, this is just to get it, Steve, this is page 16, the top. Prior to final inspection, new construction or addition, the applicant shall consider certified height check survey proposed construction is within 6 inches of the right height allowed by the county. What? Allowed by the town, come on.
sorry, where is
What
it?
page again?
Yes,
Which one? Robin?
it's page 15
Yes.
or 60, it might be up to 60.
Yes,
Si-
Go ahead.
Which number?
E height check.
I check, yes.
And it's the town Nocton.
Town not likely, so this seems to be a drafting, I don't think we need to take a vote
Yeah,
on it,
that's-
that's an error. By the town, is that everyone clear, so we don't take a vote on it?
Yes.
Yes, is that okay? Mr.
Uh,
Town Manager, Mr. Town Attorney, can we?
Sorry, yeah, there it is, height check there. Secret is. I can scroll up.
Okay, thank you.
You see that?
Yes.
Okay, to change that to
Yes,
county
it
to town?
is. Yep.
It needs to be changed.
Yeah, very good, so that's. we
Good
don't-
catch.
Yeah, good catch, we don't need to vote
All
on
right,
that, I hope.
just think about this one, a replacement fence for a wall, which is on page 16.
Yes,
might want to create an exception on these prior 5-year period requirements of the firm prior 5 years or since ownership changed within the last 5 years. The new owners might not even know the prior history of the fence or wall.
Sorry. Is there, could you, I think there you're proposing a very specific language for an amendment. So could you read your proposed amendment so there can be someone who can second it?
Yeah,
So we are now talking under replacement fence or wall, the very first line in page 16, which starts a fence or wall that replaces 50% or more of a pre-existing fence within the 5-year period prior to the filing of an application. You have amended to this.
it is.
Or since the most recent change in ownership, whichever is sooner.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Or since the most recent change in ownership,
Whichever is sooner.
whichever is sooner. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it out so that I can see there's a second for this. The sentence would now read: a fence or wall that replaces 50% or more of a pre-existing fence within the 5-year period prior to the filing of an application or since the most recent change in ownership, whichever is sooner. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I don't even know. Like, I'm so confused, so
Well,
can you just like dumb it down for me, like.
It's just a point that, a new owner might not know the prior history of that wall, so couldn't tell you that it had been changed in the last 5 years. That's what it comes down to. So allow the exception for new owners, and that's what this is doing.
Okay.
So you need a new permit, I'm sorry, you need a permit for a wall or fence. You can replace a non-conforming fence, and we're defining what that means. A non-conforming, I'm sorry, what a replacement is. A replacement is if you're replacing 50% or more of the wall. And to avoid phasing gamesmanship, we say, and there's a 5 look back period.
Oh, so
5-year
you
look
can't
back period.
you can't like chop up your fence and do it in 4 different parts or something.
Exactly.
Okay.
So whatever you've done in 5 years, that's going to amount to
Got it.
50%. But Robin's saying if there's been a change in ownership, that should be the cutoff date. A new owner shouldn't have to look back more years if they've only owned the.
Reset.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, because that person hasn't done anything to the fence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve?
Yeah, sounds fair.
All right. So that's, do I have a second for this? I thought you were the second, yes.
I was the second.
All right, that was the discussion. Any further questions, discussion on this amendment?
No.
All right, all those in favor of this amendment?
Aye.
Aye, it's passed. Thank you very much, Robin. Next.
All right. Well, the last one I'm going to bring is a very important one. It says here, the town manager shall send notice of the application.
Away in a manger.
I think it should be editor.
There's a new position. The town manger will take over a lot of things.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
And the other things about, we approve variances and we don't issue permits, we approve. Those things are editorial and you can take care of them.
Yeah, make sure I get that.
Yeah, okay. If we'll have those forwarded to the town attorney.
Thank you.
Very good.
Can I make this, am I allowed to make it? Let's vote on this, and I'd like to make a suggestion about.
No,
these things.
there's no motion.
I'd like to
vote on
make
it.
a suggestion
Yeah,
that
fine.
from now on, when we read these things, Robin had some really good things like the town major, man, whatever he was, but when you see something like that in a document, I think we just need to collect those, send those on to EJ and have them taken care of before we walk in the door, because obviously we're going to fix those things.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, Robin. A lot of this was very helpful.
Very good. Any other amendments to the ordinance? Okay, now, can someone remind me, how does this work?
We need a motion to introduce as amended.
Motion to introduce as amended.
I'd like to make a motion to introduce as amended.
Is there a second to introduce as amended? Any discussion on the introduction as amended? No discussion. All those in favor of introducing as amended?
I,
Aye.
Thank you very much. So, very good. This will come up at a forthcoming council meeting for adoption.
Holy moly.
I think,
We've got the trees.
No, we did
no, that was,
those.
that the trees were on the consent agenda, right?
No, they were private trees.
no, they're
Private
private.
trees,
Oh,
private
private
trees,
trees.
very good.
Debbie, it's your turn.
Debbie, please introduce.
8.1 and 8.2. Okay. Gotta get my thing up. Okay. So we are introducing the, do you want me to read about the tree?
Well, Tolbert can.
Tolbert.
okay,
Oh,
we'll go to
Tolbert's here. Thank you, Tolbert.
Go ahead.
Okay, we got, three other public trees that, or no, two others that were on the agenda. There's a black locust in the pool that's over.
But I thought, no, did we do the public trees already or?
No, there was two additional public trees.
Okay, all right,
Two.
okay.
There's a black locust leaning over the canopy of the pool. There, I did a picture of that, and there's a down in 4819, Essex Avenue. So those are the two, public ones that were on the agenda. At 40, for the private ones, 4918 Cumberland Avenue, red oak, 26 inches in diameter. Is unstable and leaning, that's to the house, and there's a dead elm tree 6 inches. At 4702 Dorset Avenue, there's two standing dead trees in the backyard. There's two Siberian elms on the side that are kind of falling apart and perched up on a hanging wall. And there's a 2-oak poplar that's hollow at the base next to the drive. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trees additional.
Okay, very good. So I guess the correct way to do this is to discuss the public tree removal first. Yeah, let's go step by step. Any questions for Tolbert on the removal of the public trees? That's public tree removal 4819 Essex. It looks rather sad.
Yeah.
5545 Warwick at the pool, which is going to destroy a fence over there sooner or later. So any questions?
Just on the pin oak, what are you planning to replace it with?
That doesn't. That side has wires, so it's gonna have to be a
Non-canopy.
understory, yeah, probably red bud or dogwood.
All right.
All right, is there a motion to approve the removal of public trees at 4819 Essex and at the pool?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you
Aye.
very much. Thank you, that is done, and now we discuss the private tree removal.
4819, or
Yes.
4918,
Yes, please go ahead.
there's a 26-inch red oak that's hazardous. And the residents concerned about it, I agree, and there's a 6-inch elm that's dead in the backyard, those are the two for 49.
Any questions for Tolbert on these two trees both at 4918 Cumberland?
The question I've asked before, is the dead tree a danger to anything, or do we just leave it alone?
Yeah, it's next to the house.
All right.
It's not in the woods, but it's next to it.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to remove these two trees at 4918 Cumberland Avenue as recommended by our town arborist?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Two trees are also approved for removal. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Wait, are we,
Oh,
don't we have the other trees?
You did it.
4702 Dorset.
4702
oh,
Dorset.
sorry, folks.
Good catch.
Good catch, 4702. I haven't scrolled down all the way
You
there.
guys can't sneak in your agenda items without me.
4702 Dorset.
A lot of
Two
trees.
standing dead trees in the back, 9 inch and 15 inch along the back fence. There's two Siberian elms that are 20 inch and a 12 inch that are on the west side of the property. They're perched on a retaining wall, and there's a lot of dead wood in both of them. And then the two proper at the end of the driveway, 24 inches hollow at the base and hazardous.
Hmm.
That people fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Any questions for town arborist regarding 4702 Dorset? Is there a motion to approve the tree removal permit 4702 Dorset?
Yes.
So, good. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Everyone. Very good. Tree removal permit is
Thank you.
approved. Thank you very much. And now is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
So moved.
Wow.
Any objection?
Oh, I love you all.
You're your favorite client. Thank you very much.
You're not gonna watch as you drive, are you?
Yes.